All right, Kelsey.
Is noon, so I agree. Let's go ahead and get started. We have a pretty fun program coming up. Welcome to the August 16th, 2021 Rotary Club of Ames meeting. Let's go ahead and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And we do have, Karen informed me that Pat Miller passed away yesterday, and she was the retired director of the Iowa State Lectures, so, and longtime member of our club. So if we could keep her in our thoughts, and also I think Doris Goring's services are next weekend. Is that what you said, Karen? Next weekend. So if we could just continue to keep both of those families in our thoughts. Is there anyone else that our club can think of, or no? Okay. Thank you. All righty.
Kelsey, I would just ask that we be mindful of the situation in Afghanistan as well as Haiti.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you for adding that. And Nathan, I think, is our only visitor online. So welcome, Nathan.
Thank you.
Let's see. Is Louis on? I haven't seen him pop on. I know he's doing the welcome song. Louis, are you on? Oh, I see you. There you are. All right.
I'm here.
Take it away, Louis.
All right, to all you Zoomers, welcome to you from Ames Rotary, Nevada, London, or Gay Paris, from far off lands or the USA. We're glad that you are here today. Come back again whenever you're near. Join us and then we'll make it clear. Around the world you will always be welcome at Rotary.
Thank you, Louis. And we do not have, next week, let's do those announcements. There is no club meeting next week. We will have a day of service at the Tedesco Park, and then August 30th, super exciting program. We'll be back at we'll be back at in the Ryman room at the Alumni Center, and it will be Dr. Wendy Winterstein. So that is very exciting. Otherwise, I don't think we have any other announcements. So I will invite Kent to introduce our speaker. I think you're still muted, Kent.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. It's a distinct honor and privilege, and I'm also humbled to have the opportunity to introduce Nathan Johnson. Nathan's an Oskaloosa native, graduated from the University of Iowa.
Sorry.
He got a scholarship to play baseball, which we couldn't offer at Iowa State, where he was a pitcher. And then Nathan was drafted into the Philadelphia Phillies organization, and he played minor ball for about 5 years with the Phillies of Philadelphia. He went to work for Musco in 2008 and has transitioned to be a key account sales representative. Nathan and his wife Shannon have 4 children, 3 boys and 1 girl, all active in ball for some reason or another. And with that, it is my distinct privilege to introduce Nathan to the Rotary Club of Ames.
Well, thank you, Kent. And I've had the honor to be Kent's son-in-law for 18 plus years. So he's a great guy. So
yeah. So I appreciate the opportunity to have me come speak here today. This is actually my second time to ever speak to a Rotary Club. The first time was actually the day I got drafted by the Phillies in 2004. So that was an exciting day. So I appreciate the opportunity to come here and speak today a little about Musco Lighting. So I appreciate the opportunity. Just to kind of give you guys a brief background about Musco. Musco has been around since about 1976. And I'll just share my screen here, and so you guys can start seeing this. But yeah, so Musco's been around since about 1976 when Joe Crookham and Myron Gordon, the owners and current owners of Musco Lighting, purchased Muscatine Lighting Company in Muscatine, Iowa. At that time, they consolidated the lighting line that Muscatine Lighting Company had and made it into a sports lighting company. So since 1976, we've been doing sports lighting all across the globe. Really, the Musco brand got kicked off in 1982 when Notre Dame, Michigan came to us and wanted to do a night football game on the Wild World of Sports. And they wanted to do a night game, and they gave us about 5 months to put lighting together. And we did mobile trucks there where we did temporary lighting for that game. And the publicity and the success of that project really took off. So, and we do cool projects all over the country. And I'm just going to share you guys a few of those photos of what we do and how we're, transition into LED lighting and some cool effects that we can do all across the country. I don't know how many of you saw the game last Thursday, the Field of Dreams game, but that was a really neat experience that I was able to partake in. Just a neat environment. We actually did worked on the movie set back in 1989, doing the filming of that project. So that was a really cool project to kind of come full circle as we went into lighting of the Major League Stadium. And that was a really neat experience there on Thursday. But just to kind of give you guys a little bit, show you guys what we do. Again, we've been around for about 40 years, specialize in sports lighting. So we do professional stadiums, all the way down to a Little League. I think Kent had shared with me, we just did a miracle field with your guys' organization, I think a year or two ago. But just some neat projects that come from small town Iowa. Oskaloosa here is where our corporate offices are located, and Muscatine, Iowa is where our manufacturing plant is located. So that's where we get the Musco name. But here's just some cool projects that we've done. We do Olympic games, professional stadiums all across the country. Boston Celtics here, that was a project that I was fortunate enough to be the lead sales representative on. And we have New England Patriots. So you can see some of the lighting that we've done at some of these iconic stadiums. Wembley Stadium just transitioned to LED lighting last year. Enterprise Center in St. Louis where the Blues play. Here's a project at Wimbledon Center Court, a project that we did 3 or 4 years ago. Here's another cool stadium that we did. Dallas Cowboys, Jerry's World, as they like to say. And then we do a lot of Major League Baseball stadiums. This one's Camden Yards, Chicago White Sox, Milwaukee Brewers. And so Cincinnati Reds is another photo. And so we also do soccer stadiums. Premier Soccer, have a great relationship with the MLS, and do a majority of those stadiums. Do golf courses in different countries. Korea is a big nighttime golfing place that like to have night courses lit up. So we do golf courses. Here's a racetrack that we've done in Doha. So we have lighting projects all over in the Middle East. So just here's a horse track in England that we did. It's called Southwell Racetrack. So I just trying to give you guys a broad idea of different projects that we do. And then we've done some national park type projects Statue of Liberty comes to mind. Mount Rushmore, as my father-in-law loves. Just the background at Rapid City, but Mount Rushmore and the White House. So we've lit these type of venues with our Musco LED product. So just a wide range of projects. Really the leader in the sports lighting industry. Do a lot of collegiate projects as well. But Musco has about 80 to 85% of the sports lighting market nationwide. So we are really the leader in the sports lighting industry, and a lot of engineers, specifiers want to use the product because of our name and our delivery in the marketplace. This is just a kind of an idea what the fixture looks like. Not to get into the whole nuts and bolts of it, but this is the LED product that is manufactured in Muscatine. So the whole assembly that's put together now with our LED product used to be a cylinder with a bulb in the middle, but now it's really a lot more complicated with a heat sink, LED boards, and then visors that really allow us to cut the glare off for neighborhoods and dark skies. So this is kind of what the fixture looks like. We have different types of fixtures depending on the application, but this is kind of the bread and butter of what we sell in the industry. So really what happens, and when we did you guys' Miracle Field, this would be a very similar type of project to what we do in most of our installations all across the country. So it's a complete system. We don't have to piecemeal this together. So you start, a contractor puts our precast concrete base in the ground. And this again is for like little league fields or high school football or those type of things. Put the precast concrete base in the ground. You backfill it with concrete. Conduit comes up through the base. The contractor slip fits the galvanized steel pole on top of each other. And then everything is pre-wired in Muscatine. So this is all put together on the ground. Contractors love to install it because it's a very easy system to put together. We run all the electrical pieces down the pole. You just easy connect, so easy I could even do it. And I'm not very good at this type of stuff. So just a pin connector. It's very, very simple to put together. And then all the fixtures are pre-aimed in factory. So we can make sure all the light levels are met. So this is how easy the system is to put together. So once that's all assembled together on the ground, we put all the driver, all your electronic components, everything that's going to go wrong is put in this box. So it's very, everything, all the wiring is done. So you don't have to get a lift to the top of the pole. So all the electronic, the drivers, everything that's probably going to go wrong is going to go wrong in this box. So we remote that from the top of the pole so you don't have to get a lift just to make some simple adjustments. And so all of that's put together on the ground, and then a contractor, you just connect it, and then a contractor just stands this pole and puts it on top of that precast base. So that's your complete system. Then they stand at home plate or the middle of the field to know that it's all aimed in appropriately, and you have your complete system here. So really one thing that sets us apart from others in the industry is we offer a 25-year parts and labor warranty on most of our products. So a lot of that is repeat customers, people that put it in their budget one time and for the next 25 years don't have to worry about it. Musco really prides ourselves in our service, taking care of our customers. We have about 170 service and warranty people just dedicated to the after sale. So, which is very helpful for me being on the front lines of just talking to customers, making sure that, I know when I pass this along and the sale's done, I know that they're going to be taken care of for the long term. We have over 1 million fixtures nationwide that are under warranty. And we also have departments that monitor the lights, can tell you if the lights are on, are bad or not. And a lot of times proactively we'll call customers to tell them that we have a light out. We're going to be there in the next 2 to 3 weeks to come and fix it for them. Customers can turn on and off the lights remotely from their iPads or their websites and those type of things. So What else separates us is really is the glare control of the Musco lights. Here's a LED product that we lost, and then they never actually played under it because it was so bad. It was lighting up their neighbors. And so they actually installed Musco LED. So you can see the drastic difference of what we're doing in the industry versus what other people are doing. Here's a good photo of Iowa, the Wells Fargo Center in Iowa. You can see the light cutoff, and then our competitors and what that looks like. And here's an HID system, so you guys can kind of get an idea. So an HID means this is old technology of what it used to look like. You have light blasting everywhere, and this is what we're doing today with the Musco technology. You can see a dramatic difference of what that looks like. So, and here's a good photo that everybody knows, Principal Park here in the Iowa Cubs. So this is what is our old, this is what we were selling about pre-2014 on minor league stadiums. And this is what the technology is today. And so you can see a drastic difference of where Musco has come even in the last 8 to 10 years in the lighting industry. So, and this is the product that we are currently selling on minor league, collegiate stadiums, those type of things. A couple years ago, we came out with some color changing fixtures. So a lot of people are liking the look of that. It just adds to the ambiance, the architectural look. So here's a project that I was fortunate to work on at Illinois State. They have some white baffles here, and we were able to do some color changing fixtures. Here's a BC place in Vancouver where we did the downlight, but we lit up RGBW fixtures throughout that facility. Some major Division I type facilities that we've done. This is Jordan Hare Stadium at the University of Auburn. Georgia Tech, they wanted it blue, so we lit the stadium blue. And then we've done, there's a minor league stadium at Wichita that I was fortunate enough to work on. So you can kind of see some cool ambiance that just shows those type of things. So, and then we also done some bridges. Here's a Tumwa Bridge, just not too far from us. Some buildings that we've done, downtown Marriott. Some of you might know where that is. But just some cool features that we can do with not just sports lighting, but theatrical lighting, because that's what everybody wants nowadays. So, and then finally, and then we can answer some questions, but what we're doing kind of for the theatrical, you know, the younger generation wants pizzazz, they want to be entertained. So here's just some cool features that we've done. Here's a university, and I'll show this, but University of Alabama hype video. So this is all Musco lights at the football stadium. So we did all red, and then they showed the lights flashing. So like game days, they do this for player introductions and those type of things. Just gets people excited for the game and just changes the overall atmosphere of what they're doing. We can sync the lights to music, which is kind of cool too. You can get the beat of the music to have the lights flash on and off. So it's pretty neat when you see it in person, it just changes the overall atmosphere. And this is the Oklahoma City Thunder, Chesapeake Arena. They wanted this for game days. Excuse me. So you see how the lights go to the music, and so it's pretty neat to see in person, and everybody that's buying these type of lighting goes to this type of DMX control of the lights. So yeah. So again, I appreciate you guys taking the time, and I'd love to answer any questions that anybody has of the system or what we do or how we do it. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you guys today.
I will.
Okay.
Nathan, I'm a jackrabbit in South Dakota State.
Yeah.
And they have Daktronics, which are scoreboards.
Yep.
Do you guys ever cooperate together to do?
Yeah. Yeah. So we've worked with
competitors.
Yep. Yeah, we've worked with Daktronics on several projects. A lot of times they'll call us because they're scoreboard blocks our lighting, right? So we have to coordinate on a lot of projects to ensure what the size of the scoreboard is, how big it is. I know in some like Little League jobs, we've worked with them on, they put their Dectronics board on our light poles. So we've had a lot of collaboration with them on different projects. Also, I know that they're a small town, South Dakota, we're small town Iowa, but we're kind of the same type of companies and how we're built and how we take care of customers. So I know that they're the leader in the scoreboard business in South Dakota there. So yeah, we work with them. And I wouldn't say a lot, but I mean, I've talked with them on several different projects.
Nathan, could you speak to COVID past and COVID current, its impact on business, employees, and then access to equipment or mechanics?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. COVID prior, when the first COVID came out, I think us as a company were nervous about what the impacts of that would be. And I think our leadership team has done an outstanding job of navigating those waters and understanding the impacts. And I think it's been a pleasant surprise at what the outcome has been, because I think what has happened, a lot of people has had time to assess maybe what their long-term goals are, as well as what the problems that they currently are having. And they felt like it was now a good time to go down the road of replacing some of their outdated equipment. So actually 2020 was a very, very good year for Musco, and 2021 is actually going to be one of the best years that Musco's ever had as a company from a sales perspective of the number of fixtures going out the door. So it's been a positive in that sense. The downfall right now is supply chain issues of trying to get a product from other countries, maybe that we have some components within, just to ensure that we have the LED diodes, the drivers, those type of things. I know that we've been really discussed internally of just making sure we understand when product is needing to be shipped, and just making sure that we have the timing appropriately. So our manufacturing team has the ability to plan accordingly. So right now we're not seeing any issues of shipping things out. We're just trying to navigate and make sure we're not buying too much at a certain time or those type of things. But I know that's been a challenge for upper management of just trying to navigate the entire environment of the supply chain issue that everybody's seeing.
And Nathan, you called off for a number of international projects.
Yep.
With travel being interrupted and COVID not being the same,
Mm-hmm.
and our vaccinations, and list goes on and on.
Yep.
What are you seeing? And does all of your workforce live in Iowa, or is it scattered across the country and scattered internationally? Yep. Or do you sub out? I'm trying to understand that part of the work.
Yeah, absolutely. So Musco has offices all over the world. So we have offices mostly in Iowa or in the United States. So we have sales representatives in all 50 states, or at least covering all 50 states for our United States operations. And then we have a manufacturing plant actually in Korea, and we have a manufacturing plant in China. And most of those and all those manufacturing plants service the work that we do in the Middle East, the work that we do in Europe, those type of things. So everything made in America or sold in America is made in America. And then our manufacturing plant, our offices, we have offices in China, South Korea, we have offices in the Middle East, we have offices in England. So from that perspective, I think our team has had a really good job. Our upper management has done a good job of forecasting those type of things. So that allows our sales force. So we have a sales force in Middle East. We have a sales force in China. We have a sales force in England to be able to handle those things. So we're not necessarily sending people all from America to those type of projects.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
At a site like the Field of Dreams, where it sounds like they would like to do that again in another year.
Yeah.
Are those permanent lights, or do those come down for the 9 months of the year or whatever it is, when that, I assume that field doesn't have much activity?
Right.
A lot of months of the year.
Yeah. So, I mean, initially they were just going to do the one game, and then those lights would be taken down. But now it sounds like they're going to play it again next year. So I don't know 100%, but I would assume those will just stay in place until next year. But that was done by, our mobile department, our mobile lighting department. They work with a company called BAM Productions, and BAM Productions puts on most of those type of projects. So I think either this coming Sunday night or the next Sunday night, they'll have the Williamsport Classic game where the Major League Baseball team plays in Williamsport. And so they do those type of projects, and we'll bring in our mobile trucks for those projects. But for the Field of Dreams game, I would assume they'll keep them up for another year. The actual install of the lighting is very similar to what I showed you guys with the precast base, the galvanized steel pole. All of that is done at that location. So in reality, if they want to make it a permanent lighting system, they could have that in place for that.
Nathan,
There's a question online through the chat.
Okay.
It says, tell us about your collaboration with communities to make local high school ball games available on their TVs.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, and I know that a lot of it, what we do in our op sales world is we have something that we just recently have come out with, and it's called Musco Vision. And so what Musco Vision does is it allows, so we put a camera on a pole, and you can, or a park and rec department can purchase that. And I think it's, you share a revenue with the parks department. But what it does is you scan like a QR code, and then whoever has that can access a ball game for a high school football or a little league baseball field, and then you can log in and watch your grandkid play, or your son or whoever play on that field. So that's a new technology. The technology that we have for that, from what my understanding is it, like in a baseball game, if the ball's hit to right center, the technology, it senses people moving to that ball, so the camera will actually move, and it senses that movement of where it's going. So it's not just a static camera on the pole. So I know that's a big technology that we're moving forward with and really trying to get out in the park and rec department, which is a neat and exciting thing. And that's called Musco Vision.
Nathan, you shared Williamsport. Share a little more detail how you folks are so involved with the Little League World Series.
Yeah, Joe Crookham, our owner, that was a big part of what Musco does, and we've been a longtime partner with Little League Baseball. We are a sponsor of them. They do they call it an ASAP or safety program that we're involved with, just to ensure the lighting standards are correct, helmets are correct, just safety for Little League. And that's been something that's been on our owner's heart, and something that he wants to be a part of and has been a part of for well over 20-25 years, of just having a great relationship with Little League, and and I think even just as being a native Oskaloosan, born and raised here, I see the impact that Musco has on our community, which is really nice to see. They've done a great job of giving back to the community. We have some of the best Little League fields in the state. My kids get to play under those fields, those lights, a nice community stadium, just a lot of things that Musco has given back to the community, and which is something that our owners didn't have to do because it's privately held, but they've just done an awesome job of being able to do that. And I think that's something that needs to be said as well.
Hey, Nathan.
Yep.
I want to give a shout out to Musco. You know, I don't know if a lot of folks realize it or not, but Musco Lighting immediately went to the World Trade Center site, went to Shanksville, went to the Oklahoma City bombing, supplied those folks with lighting right away, and then donated a lot of their products for the memorials for those sites. So thank you to Musco Lighting.
Yes. Yeah. And I should have mentioned that, but yes, you're right, Liz. It's, again, I think the owners and what they do, I think that that 9/11 was a Tuesday morning. And a lot of the mobile trucks were coming home from some Saturday football games, and the call went out that, hey, this had happened. And immediately our trucks started going to that site, and we're there, I think, for a very long time and I've talked to some people here that have done that, and it's very sobering, but yeah, wanted to get that on site as quickly as possible. So every 9/11, they send an email out to our team, just reminding us of that day, but also the effort that our team put in to try to heal the country as much as we possibly could. So thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Hey, Nathan, I have a question about your design and your technology teams.
Yep.
So obviously it's very cutting edge in some of the stadiums. And how do your teams either come up with these designs or stay up to date with all the changes in the technology and all the advancements so that you can offer that to your clients?
Yeah. Yeah, so we've spent a lot of money on research and development. Our R&D team has, we have several employees just dedicated to that type of work to stay on the cutting edge side of things. And they do a great job of evolving to the technology that's currently out there, and then also coming up with new to stay ahead of it. I think our team is second to none in regards to that, and it's proven in the marketplace. And then our engineers, so we have an application engineers that do the lighting designs, and it really comes down to science and understanding the geometry of each facility, mounting heights, locations, where the poles need to go. And we have a software program within our system. It's called AIM. That's just proprietary to Musco. So we understand the number of fixtures we need, how the light is distributed. And so when our engineers put that into our program, they design it almost to a T where, our customers don't have to touch the lights to meet the certain specifications of a Major League Baseball stadium or minor league or NFL or NCAA. Those light levels are almost to a T of what they designed it, and on paper is what it goes out into the field. So it's just a lot of time and effort has been put into that. But when you do, the number of fixtures that we have done over the last 45 years, and measuring all those light levels and understanding where each light needs to go, it's, they have that down to a science. So it definitely helps of having that team in place.
Thank you.
Yep.
What's the corporate structure of Musco? It's not publicly traded, it's family owned or employee owned? I'm just, what's your governance structure?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's privately held. It's Joe Crookham and Myron Gordon are the owners of the company, and they're both still alive and still active with it. Joe just transitioned from the president CEO that has taken on by a new gentleman, Jeff Rogers, and he's now the principal and CEO. But Joe is still is still involved, and then Myron Gordon is the engineer that is also the owner. So people probably don't know Myron as much as they know Joe. Joe's more the face, and Myron, I think Joe always said that Myron just had to fulfill the promises that I made. So, but yeah, they're both from Oskaloosa. They started this about 45 years ago, and that's the structure that's still in place.
It's an LLC.
Yep.
Nathan, could you speak a little bit to internships and co-ops as well as relationship with community colleges?
Yeah, you mean like internships of what we have to offer?
Right, in terms of how you continue to grow your workforce, is there a relationship with community colleges and then with universities in terms of, I don't know if you all do the job fairs and so forth and so on, and then provide internships and co-ops?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of Musco's done a lot with universities and with engineering departments like Iowa State. William Penn is a big thing that Joe, our owner, has put a lot of time and resources into. So we have a lot of employees here from Iowa State and or William Penn. Those are kind of the major ones from an engineering perspective. And then a lot of it is just from a relationship with the community college. I don't know that exactly what we have in regards to that, but in internships, I know Musco's always looking for good people to hire, and what that is done. A lot of it's word of mouth of people that I know, somebody that does a good job or has some relationships, and that's what a lot of the hiring that they do within Musco.
How many employees do you have overall, and how many are in your town?
Right. I don't have the exact numbers, but I think it's between 1,000 to 1,500 employees worldwide. I think the last count I heard, there's about 600 to 700 employees in Muscatine area and about 300 to 400 in the Oskaloosa area, and then the rest are throughout the world.
Nathan, your dedication to service, give them the story that you've shared about your lighting opportunity for Toronto, playing in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so because of COVID, the Toronto Blue Jays weren't able to start their season in Toronto this year. So we did the lighting for the Buffalo AAA Stadium, where the Blue Jays played for a couple years or a couple months this season. And I was the lead sales guy on the project, and we worked with our mobile team, the guy that worked with on the Field of Dreams project. And so we got the lights out there to meet Major League Baseball specifications. Everything looked good. The Blue Jays were just about ready to come in, and they had some issue of seeing the ball at dusk. And that's an issue that we see all across the country when the lighting right after the sun goes down and the lights haven't taken full effect yet, as they say. Sometimes the outfielders can lose the ball. And so we had that problem that the Blue Jays were going to come in the Monday, and then we got a call on Friday morning saying we're having some issues. We need this fixed. Called the upper management. They said, get on the plane and take care of it. We had a team. We put some 12 fixtures on the plane, flew out there that night, and made the adjustments necessary to keep the Blue Jays. And the guy that had some issues seeing it, we made the necessary adjustments, tested the fixtures that night on a Friday, and they're very happy with the end result. And so much so that we got the orders to do the Toronto Blue Jays main stadium coming up here next year. So that's just the type of service that our team has, that we want to make it right for our customers and make sure they're happy with the end result.
Well, and furthermore, that was on a Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, that was. So yeah, it was. I came home at noon to my wife and said, I'm going to Buffalo tonight. So yeah, it was a good project and a good end result.
Share a little bit. You've been very involved with the Seattle's hockey setup. Can you share a little bit, kind of the long or short story of that thing?
Yeah, so the Seattle Kraken is a new NHL stadium or arena that's being built. It was the current infrastructure, that it was a historical venue, so they couldn't actually tear it down, but they needed it to renovate where the Sonics used to play. So what the NHL just had an expansion team there. It's called the Seattle Kraken. And when they did that, what they did is they kept the kind of the shell of the arena in place, actually dug the hole down further and just renovated or built basically a brand new arena inside that shell. And it's called Climate Pledge Arena. And we're doing the lighting there, that opening day will be, I think, in November. So we're just finalizing all of those, that installation with the NHL. We'll do light levels, I think, end of September, sometime in October, just to ensure all the NHL light levels are met. But I think that'll be either our 15th or 16th NHL project that we've done.
And you folks also did the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium, didn't you?
No, that was a competitor of ours.
We don't want to talk about that. Nathan.
No, we don't talk about that one. Thanks, Kent.
They're all entitled to a mistake.
Yeah.
Nathan, where can you share with us, in light of today's both political and social climate, what is Musco doing in the space of diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think we always want to be conscious of that. I know with our soccer and our mini pitch, that was a big push. So what we're doing in some of these urban areas across the country, where don't have a lot of green spaces, Musco has something called the mini pitch. And what that is it's basically an entire soccer complex that can be put on like a playground area for inner city or urban kids to come and play. And I know that's something that the MLS and Musco has partnered together with in regards to diversity and trying to enrich the kids' lives that are doing those type of projects. And it's something that's very important to our team to be able to be a part of that and be a part of those type of projects. And a very exciting thing that Musco does.
What about on the employment front?
Yeah, I don't know the human resources side of things as much. Sorry, but I know we want to be a part of that, and hire the people that are right for each position. So I don't know anything. I'm not privy to that information.
Thank you.
Where does the name Musco come from? Is it from Muscatine?
Yeah, well, my understanding is the Musco name comes from Muscatine, MUSC, and Oskaloosa, the O. So that's my understanding of where the name Musco came from. Muscatine, Oskaloosa, and just combined them.
Any more questions? No. Nathan, thank you so much. That was incredible I had no idea that there was a company in Iowa that was, I guess we do have some manufacturing in Ames, but that's incredible. Yep. I learned so much, and I'm sure we all learned so much what Musco Lighting does. And it's exciting to know that we have companies in Iowa that are, producing these sort of things for the entire world. So thank you so much. We appreciate you and we appreciate your time today. So thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I enjoyed it, and hopefully it was very informative. And I should have mentioned you can go see the lights at Hilton or Jack Trice coming up. So, but thank you.
Thank you. And Ken, thank you for setting that up. That was awesome. And then we didn't mention it, but Lynn Carey wanted to give you a big shout out for your donation for the Miracle Park project. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. And if that is all, we can stand for the four-way test. Of things we do and say, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you.